Hello friends, welcome. Now in this chapter we will take up the topic of supply. In chapter number 3 we learnt about demand, right? And we saw how demand affects the price of a commodity, or how the commodity price of the commodity will affect the demand of a good. In the same way, we are going to see how the supply and the price help determine each other. So demand and supply, right, they are both equally important determinants of price, right? So to understand the concept of demand also, it is necessary to understand the concept of supply, because demand and supply, they are two ends of the same thing. What I want to say is, who decides the demand? So it is the consumer or the customer, right? The consumer or the customer creates a demand in the market. And who decides the supply? The producer, right? The producer or the businessman decides the supply. And when will they agree? At some point there's this thing called a price, and there's a tug of war between the consumer and the producer to get a proper price. The producer wants a higher price, the consumer wants the goods at a lower price, right? And a point where they meet will be the price, right, where we call it the equilibrium price. So demand was consumer based, while supply will be based on the producer. So considering the demand for various goods in the market, it becomes a function of the market to ensure the supply of these goods, right? So there's a demand for goods in the market, and the market will have to ensure the supply of goods. Supply must be altered in accordance to the changes in the demand. If the demand increases, if the demand and supply, let's take off demand and supply. If the demand of a good will increase, the supply is going to increase. If the demand of a good decreases, the supply obviously is going to decrease, because the price will affect. As the demand increases, the price will go up. So the producer is going to supply more items because he's going to make more profit. As the demand of an item goes down, the producer is going to get less profit by making those goods. So the supply also will automatically decrease, because if the demand of an item goes down and supply keeps on being stable, then the price will drop very drastically. The price will go down very heavily. So that is not feasible for the producer. So just as for every price there is a different demand, in the same way for every price there is a corresponding supply. So in demand function, we learned about how the demand and price are interrelated, or how price is affected by, or how demand is affected by increase or decrease of price. In the supply part, we are also going to say the same thing, how supply is affected by increase or decrease of the price. Okay, now before we take up supply, let us see the meaning of stock, supply, and one more term called production. Let us understand this in this video, and then we'll talk of supply in the next video. So in normal language, supply and stock may be equal, but in economics, supply, stock are completely different terminologies. First, let us see what is production. The production is the quantity of goods which are created by the available factors of production during a fixed interval of time, or during a fixed time period. So production is the quantity of goods which are produced or which are manufactured using the available factors of production at that point of time. On the other hand, supply, when we talk of, so it is that amount of production which a producer is able, see the word able, and willing to sell, second word is willing, to sell in the market at a given price and at a particular point of time. So see, what is supply? The amount of production which a producer is able, the key word is able, and willing to sell in the market at a given price and at a particular point of time. So total production may not be equal to total supply. Okay, the producer may not be willing to sell everything is produced at that given point of time. So the willingness and ability to supply the goods which are produced is called supply. While stock, when we talk of, the stock is the total available amount of goods with a producer. Right? So total available amount of goods which are there with the producer, which can be offered for sale in the market as per the ability and willingness of the seller. Right? So we have production, supply, stock. Actually it will be like this: production, then we have the supply, we have the stock, and then from the stock there is a supply. See, let us see this example. A trader of oil in Rajkot has 500 packets of oil. So now what is 500? Is it a supply or is it a stock? Think of it, right? If he or she is not able and willing to sell it in the market at a given price at a given point of time, then the supply in this case is 0, while stock up here is 500, right? So he has a stock of 500 packets of oil, but he is not willing to supply it in the market. You see, stock is there, but he is not willing to sell it in the market. He wants to keep it in his godown because the price may not be conducive at the given period of time. But if he or she is able and willing to sell 300 packets, now see, suppose out of 500 packets which he has, that is stock, if he is able and willing to sell 300 packets from the available amount, then we can say the supply now is 300 packets. So for supply to take place, there should first be the willingness of the producer or of the trader to sell. There should be willingness. इसकी इच्छा होनी चाहिए, तैयारी होनी चाहिए. Willingness means तैयारी, बेचने की तैयारी होनी चाहिए. So the entire amount of a good available with the producer or trader is not supply. It is a stock which will become supply only when he or she is able and willing to sell at a given price at a particular point of time. The second determinant is the ability to sell. The ability to sell depends upon the availability of this stock. For example, if the trader of oil desires to sell 1000 packets of oil, while the stock is only 500, he is not able to sell 1000 packets because the ability to sell is only 500 packets. So at the most the supply will be 500 packets only. And the third thing is the willingness to sell. Besides the ability to sell, the trader should be willing to sell a good at a given price at that particular point of time. So it is now clear that supply is that proportion of the total available stock which a supplier is able and willing to sell at a particular price at a particular point of time. Right? Supply is that proportion of the total available stock which a supplier is able and willing to sell at a particular price at a particular point of time. So based on this, let us make a chart to understand what we are talking of. First column is production, second is the opening stock. So we have production, we have stock, then we have the supply in the market, and then we have the closing stock. Let us say a producer produces 100 units of an item. So the opening stock is 100. Out of these 100 units which are in stock, he supplies only 80 to the market. So the closing stock will now be 20, right? 20 are left with him. Now the next month, let us say the producer produces 150 units. So now what is the opening stock with him? Opening stock is this 150 which is produced and 20 which is his closing stock. So he has 170 units of stock now. And let us say he supplies only 100 units in the market. So then his closing stock will be 70. If in the third month, if he produces 150 units again, he has produced 150, he has a stock of 70, so he has 220 of an opening stock. Closing stock plus production would become opening stock. Let us say now he has supplied 150 units in the market, so he is left with only now 70 again, right? Because 220 was stock, 150 is the supply. But suppose the supply, he is getting a good price and he gets a last minute good order, and let us say he supplies 210 units, so he has only a stock of 10 units. So you see, production of any unit plus whatever is there already, previous stock, becomes the opening stock. So if we write a table regarding that, we can write opening stock plus production will be equal to the stock on hand. It is equal to stock on hand minus, let's do minus the supply is equal to the closing stock. So you see, production plus opening stock will lead to the stock on hand, and from this stock on hand we supply something, right? So when you subtract this supply from the stock on hand, we get closing stock. From this you can always see that supply and stock is always more than supply. Supply is always less than the stock, because whatever unit you have, you can only supply from that only. Like the previous example we saw, okay, if you have 500 units of stock, you cannot supply 501 units, right? So whatever stock is there, you can only supply that much or less than that much. So we saw the difference between stock and supply. We are still going to see a little bit more of that, and then we'll start the next topic. Okay, so we just talked of this thing. Okay, stock is the sum total of the available amount of a good, and supply is the stock which traders are willing and able to sell at a prevailing price at a particular point of time. So stock is the total amount of a product which is available for sale. Supply is always less than stock. When the supplier sells lesser amount from the available stock, so supply is always less than or equal to stock, but never greater than stock. So stock consists of current production as well as unsold stocks, means carry forward stocks from the previous lot of production. So even production and supply are also different. We just saw that in this video, right? Okay, opening stock plus production. So opening stock is nothing but the closing stock of the previous lot. You can see 20 was the closing stock. Production is 150. So now opening stock is now 170, because 150 plus 20. So you can see the production, stock are different, and supply is quite different. Okay friends, so we stop up here. So I hope you got the idea of production, stock and supply. Okay, now meet you in the next video. Bye.